Everybody's
In years past, this was a trip where ASU really commanded your attention. Fair to say, though, that I know ASU's first, but both teams are really going to have your full attention given the way Arizona's been playing lately.
Both teams are really, really good. I haven't even looked at Arizona. Yep. We as far as I know and am concerned, we have one game that's Friday night against Arizona State, and we know what they can do. I mean, they're physical, they're tough, they're really defensive oriented, and I'll tell you what, it is a grind when you play them.
What's the big difference this year as compared to last year with Arizona State? I mean, when you lose someone like Kiana Ibis, that's a pretty sizable difference in complexion for how a team looks.
Yeah, but I think that's been the beauty of the program they've built down there. I think Coach Charlie has done such an amazing job. They lose good players every year, and every year they're just the same. They don't make anything easy on you. The way her system works, it's really not a star system. They'll have 10, 12 players that will all play. They'll all play double-figure minutes, and they can all contribute in some form or fashion. So, yeah, they lose good players, but if you look at her track record and I think she's probably a Hall of Fame coach. I think second to Tara in Pac-12 wins career-wise, and she just keeps doing it.
They're tough out every year as far as the atmosphere goes, and Adia over in Tucson did the challenge thing in the WNIT, and they ended up selling out the McHale Center. I mean, for your freshmen, how much of a trial by fire is this going to be, where you're going to two pretty raucous environments to open up Pac-12 play?
Yeah, well, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but yeah, you look at Arizona, they're first in the nation in scoring defense. We're first in the nation in scoring offense. There's a 42-point-something% or point difference in there. So obviously a contrast of styles, but at the same time, Arizona State is top 25 in defense. And guess who also is in the top 25 in the nation right now in defense? And that's the Ducks. So I think we can go on the road and play really good defense. Our last 5 games, we're only giving up about 46, 47 a game. So we've gotten better in that area. So we don't need to try to score 60 to win a game. I think we can do it at the defensive end.
Got a lot of pride in saying it's a top 25 in defense, given what you said this defense might look like at this
Andrew,
tournament.
you know why?
Why is that?
Because since I've been here, we've never been in the top 25 of any defensive category. So it's an area we've really tried to focus on. I think we're getting better. I think our team is buying into it a little bit more. And I think we're realizing that when we play good defense, it actually translates to easier baskets and better offense.
You're talking about Mignon's role in that, though, just how much of a key is she playing?
I think Mignon has played a huge role in that. She can neutralize the point guard on the other team. She can slow them down in transition. She helps us with tempo. She is a tough as nails player. Plus, I think just the way she talks and gets everybody excited about playing defense, I think has really helped. So, yeah, Mignon, there's no question she's the key, but not the only key. I think, everybody has stepped it up.
Are there players that have responded the best to her leadership, you think, that she's really helped elevate their game?
Yeah, well, I think she's elevated everybody's game to some degree, but in particular, we've had some defensive liabilities, and I won't say their names, but I don't think we have actually a weak link anymore defensively. I think we're still not the world's best defensive team, but I think we're adequate and we're getting better, and I think she has elevated a few of our players. And you know what? With her kind of quickness, she makes up for mistakes that others make. Because she can. Suddenly, take a charge, or when one of our players gets beat on the wing, because she's just got that knack about her.
So if your team has that character, is a matchup with Arizona State less a contrast in styles than it might have been in past years?
We still play the offensive end. That's what we're known for, and we do it quite well. So it's still a definite contrast. There's no question about it. But I'm just saying we can rely now on both sides of the floor.
I'm sure you don't want to name the names of the defensive liabilities.
No, normally, if this wasn't on record, I would say I don't want to, name any names except blah, 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 blah. But I can't do that, and I won't do that. You can do your own homework.
We'll make it up, because that's
Yeah.
what we do. Obviously, great athletes are never satisfied. So do you attribute it all to you're filled with great athletes who kind of always want to be better, even when they're really already good? Do you attribute any of that they wanted to be better in defense? Because They haven't been, like you said, as good maybe as a lot of other teams. They were already great in offense. This was something that they really felt like they could improve on.
Yeah, no question about that. We've challenged them to be better. We can't just try to outscore people. There are going to be nights, and we've had one. You know, and when we lost to Louisville, we were 6 of 35 from the three-point line. You know, we're the best shooting team, again, not from the three-point line, but in true shooting percentage in the country. And guess what? You're going to have some of those nights. So can you rely on your defense to keep you in the game and even win the game? And so I think that was a real eye-opener. If you look at our points per game allowed in the 6 games since the Louisville game, we've made a drastic change. It's completely different. And so I think that got their attention. So again, you can learn from a loss. And I think we did. And so, yeah, they're elite athletes. We don't want to be, you know, people all the time when you hear on ESPN or whatever, yeah, we score a lot of points, but can they defend? And so, yeah, we're trying to answer that question in a positive way.
Anything from that Baylor game last year, which was kind of a grinded out game, especially at the end? You said learning from a loss.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe kind of led into some of this improvement?
Well, I think a little bit. Yeah, no question about it. I don't think the defense let us down against Baylor. I think it was just, yeah, we finished 1 for 13 from the field. We had pretty good shots. I think there it was a matter of our kids had logged a lot of minutes on the season. I think our bench now has helped. You know, Sabrina doesn't have to play 40 minutes a night. In fact, she's barely getting 30 minutes a night right now and still putting up the numbers that she has. But no question about it. We knew going in, listen, we've got to be a more well-rounded team, and we're getting there.
On that note of being able to kind of dig deeper into the rotation, you're coming up onto the halfway mark here of the season. You look at having to go 6-7 deep on a constant basis last year. Now you can go 5-a-side in practice, and you don't have to rely on getting Campbell out there with a practice tee.
And he can't score, so Campbell kills us in practice, yeah, because he can't score.
So how much of a difference does it make, though, just as far as freshness goes, that now everyone can kind of dig deeper into that rotation 9-10?
Yeah, well, good and bad. You know, right now through 2 games, and then they had a break before that. And, you know, in the last couple games before Christmas, we had blowouts and our kids didn't play a lot of time. Well, now what happens when Sabrina has to play 35 or 36 minutes in a game because the score dictates that? Are we going to be in shape enough to do that? Because this past weekend, I think most of our starters averaged about 22 minutes a game. That's barely half a game. So I hope we're in good enough shape right now. It is a nice luxury to have a deep bench, but at the same time, when push comes to shove in crucial games, you're going to go with the experience and those that have been through it and your better players. So, you know, I don't anticipate that our starters are going to be playing 22 minutes a game for the rest of the season.
And you're about to start a stretch where I know you're not looking ahead, but it is a stretch where we're probably not going to have Sabrina only playing 22 minutes a game. So what are you looking for over these, you know, next few weeks of Pac-12 play, from specifically your key players, your starters?
You know, that we're dialed in. We can't take possessions off. We can't have lulls like we've had. When we look brilliant, we're as good a team as there is in the country. And then we'll have the letdown. You know, it's come. We're getting fewer and fewer, and they're smaller and smaller letdowns. But it's still part of, you know, what we've seen this year. So we can't have that now. You can't have a bad shooting quarter because guess what? If you're doing it at Arizona State, they're going to separate from you. It's over. Against Oregon State, against UCLA, against Stanford, against Connecticut. I mean, the next month we've got 4 games against teams that are in the current top 5. You know, and that's not to mention this weekend in the desert, which is going to be as tough as any. So yeah, we're going to find out how good we are, and you know, and if we're not playing good, consistent basketball both ends of the floor, we're in trouble. We'll get beat.
Do you think it'll take much prodding to keep them playing at the level they were this past weekend? You challenged them to raise their game. They did. Is that who you guys are, and you just kind of rediscovered yourselves, or are you going to have to? Do you really think you'll have to keep the pedal to the metal to prod that the rest of the year?
Well, you know, what we told them the first weekend is you set a high bar. You set a high bar. And we always tell them that we play against ourselves. Our opponents are a potential. So we can't play down to the opponent or up to the opponent. We've got to play our game. And sometimes that's hard, but that's what we're striving for. And after that first weekend, we really set a high bar for ourselves. And we need to stay at that level.
There were some new decorations in the Student Union Center, the EMU. There was something like when Kobe shoots, he yells Sabrina or something like that. And
Okay.
I'm sure support
Yeah.
from the university isn't anything new, but what does it mean that it's your team at the forefront of, the university's pushing this team over like a Rose Bowl champion team?
Well, I don't know if they're pushing it over anybody, but they are definitely highlighting this team, and why not? It's a special group. Look at the energy that you see in the building every single time we play, and I think it's great. And one of the reasons that this is an awesome place to play is the support that we get, not just from our fans, but from the university. We get great student support. They have really embraced this group, and why not? They have, we have 7 more home games to come and appreciate Sabrina and Ruthie and perhaps Satu, so you better come out. I think that's important. And I love that the university is embracing the team. I walk through campus and it's, hey coach, how you doing, coach, all the time. And there aren't many women's basketball coaches at universities in this country who get that kind of attention. So if I'm getting it, and look at this, ugly and no talent, I know what the players are getting. And that's one of the things we also have to fight is, a lot of people patting them on the back. We got to keep them grounded. That's my job.
How do you do that?
Well, if you've seen my game, it is very much grounded, very close to the ground. No, I get on them. I make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do each and every day. No question about it.